grade, when school started at the beginning of the year, the school wasn't ready. We were going to share a building with the Armstrong School, the Armstrong children. They got to go from 8 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock. We got to sleep late, but we had to go from 12 o'clock until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So
something you probably didn't know is that I went to kindergarten here at Fales School many years ago and have very happy memories from my kindergarten experience. And my two boys went to Fales Elementary School. This is my older son, John. John's a freshman at Manhattan College, and he went to kindergarten at Fales School. And my younger son, Drew, also went to Fales Elementary.
This is a photo taken of myself and my friends when we were going through the lunch line at Fales in the cafeteria, and I remember it was pizza day, and we were all asked to smile for the photo as if we were really excited about the food. I had Mrs. Cashin for 2nd grade, and that was the year that the Red Sox had gone all the way to the World Series, and they had lost in the last game. And Mrs. Cashin loved the Red Sox and allowed us to bring the TV into the classroom for that game, and it was a very special memory.
It was. My kids went to school here, and I loved it. And I remember my first parent conference. In those days, they grouped in 1st grade, so you got to meet every single teacher on the team, and you sat around the table, and you really got to know them, and you knew that they cared. You knew that they loved your child. They supported your child, and they supported each other as a team, so it was wonderful. The whole being, the whole presence of this building, the smell of it, the look of it, the orderliness of it, and Jack Antonio was principal then. So it was walk on the right-hand side, and boys tuck your shirts in. And
check your shoelaces, shirts, and blouses.
1983. And when I went to school here, it was 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all in the same school. And I remember it being a lot of fun. We had the principal at that time was Mr. Antonio, and I remember standing in the hallway, and he would check all of us. He would make sure all the boys had their shirts tucked in, and that nobody was chewing gum. He wouldn't let any of us go back upstairs or to our classrooms unless we were all neat and ready to go. He was very strict, but he was great.
Well, one of the special things is many, many years ago, 20-some years ago, we started going buggy at Fales, and then years later the other schools joined in. All the kids from all over Westboro are now doing it. It's becoming one of their favorite memories.
What was different?
Well, when I went to school here, I lived nearby, and my friends and I would sometimes come and sneak up onto the roof and get some kickballs to play with. There were tons up there. It's left over from gym class and the playground and all the fun that had happened that day.
Things I remember most about Fales, the building is, it used to have the fun space playground, which was a large wooden playground, and that was my favorite part of Fales. It was like a large castle, and the parents came and helped the staff build it. It was like a community building. And I just remember it was very cool. It had a lot of slides and drawbridges and towers to climb in.
I remember as a teacher working at Fales, some of the things that my students would tell me, they truly believed that Annie Fales lived under the stairs in a lower level, and whenever they would hear a noise or a strange sound, they would say, "See, we knew Annie Fales does live. She's hiding in the basement." But the memories of Fales, just the people, some of them still here. The Fales Care motto transcends everything that happens here with students, with teachers, with parents that I've met. The fondest memories of the 22 years of teaching and working in Westboro, I must say, the fondest memories I've had have been the time I spent at Fales.
And I went to Fales School in 1964. You know, walking up that long ramp when you're a little kid, it seemed like the longest walk of your life. But then you get inside. I think the best part was one of the teachers would always have candy in their pocket, and so whoever's line was ready the fastest and the straightest, they all got candy as we walked into the classroom. I had Mrs. Rayfeld in 1st grade and Mrs. Cobb in 2nd and then Mrs. McDonald. But my favorite of all time, I probably shouldn't say favorites, but she was, Miss Daypray. and I had her in 4th grade, and she was fun. She was a lot of fun. We did a lot of fun things in her class. I remember one time she made an aquarium out of the classroom, and we used to be along the walkway when you walked up that long walkway, and we all had to make fish, and we hung them down, and she hung blue cellophane on the windows. And so as every kid passed by, they looked in, it looked like they were looking into a tank, and we had fish hanging from the lights, and seaweed, and it was things like that.
Hello, my name is Kathleen Daybray. I was a teacher at Fales School for several years. Back in 1964, my first year out of college, I was hired to teach 5th grade with the fellow next door, Jack Antonio. He became principal the next year after 1 year in his position as 5th grade teacher. That year I had 36 children in a self-contained classroom. 21 of them were boys. In those days we taught every subject. I had 3 reading groups for the 36 children, 2 math groups, and I would put their work on the chalkboard listing their assignments for the day, and I'd go over and explain them so that when I had one reading group up at the back table, we were doing our reading and discussing, the other children would be able to carry on with their work independently.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Kim Roach. Here is my first grade picture from when I went to Fales School many years ago. And what's nice is I now have a first grade daughter in Fales as well. So happy birthday.
That was it. My fondest memory of Fales is our Christmas parties. And the fondest one was when the Paras, 4 of us got together and did the Supremes. And we had wigs on and gowns we got, and Kathy Wong was Diana Ross. And she was wonderful.
It was a fun space, and it was this big wooden structure, and my dad helped build it. Is that when I went here, I had Miss Malloy, who was going to kill me, but I had her as a teacher, and then I was able to, when I taught 2nd grade, able to teach with her.
One of a memory that sticks out for me was that every year in, we called it gym class back then, not PE like we do now, there was the alligator pit, and it was a big obstacle course, and everybody loved to do the alligator pit.
I had Mrs. Satilli and Mrs. O'Connor, and Mrs. O'Connor's class had the big, what did she even call that house? She had a big house that we stayed in for when we did pilgrims. And she had her rug inside of it, and we sat on there, so it was the best part of it, to be in the house.
It was a cold day in January when I got on a plane and moved from California to Massachusetts. The first thing I did was apply to be a substitute teacher. Westboro, Southboro, Marlboro, Northboro, Shrewsbury, Worcester, and back again. I got a call that said Mrs. Alkuski was out sick and they wanted me to substitute grade 2, room 3 at Fales School. Everyone at Fales was friendly and talented and kind and helpful, and I couldn't help but notice it felt more like a family than a place to go to work.
I remember doing Go and Buggy, and I kind of had a crush on the girl that I was with, and I was just overall.
In 3rd grade, I remember moving on together. Good way to end off Fales experience.
I really enjoyed when they put the new swing set in. It was great. Big jungle gym, climbing rock wall. I love that.
Hi, I'm Ruth Hayes Steves, and I went to Fales School, and happy birthday, Fales.
2, 3.
Happy birthday, Fales!
Happy 50th birthday, Fales Elementary. Love all the Stantons.
I love it, and I never want to leave.
Happy birthday, Fales!
Happy birthday, Fales.
Go ahead.
Okay, happy birthday, Fales.
3.
Happy 50th birthday, Fales!
Go ahead.
Happy birthday, Fales.